Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Beautiful. All right. Hit me the
Nice.
fuck up with your dope-ass wisdom. Why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd?
Okay, my name is Dio. Yes, that one. Yeah, I'm from Portugal. That one country people talk about, but nobody really knows where it is.
Imagine not even living in a real country.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. Did you know we have a party that is exclusively tanky? You'd love it here. It's amazing. But yeah, I'm in college. I'm taking an electrical engineering course, and that's a good segue to go into what I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, hit me the fuck up. I'm here to learn. Okay.
Okay, that's good because I'm here to teach. So yeah, a buddy of mine who's also a leftist.
Wait.
He's like,
is it Rojava or Rojava?
I don't know because I do not speak Kurdish, and since none of us do, we'll just not care.
It's lost to the ages. Nobody knows.
Yeah, basically. A friend of mine who's a leftist, he's basically the anti-Vosh because he's very reserved and deliberate in how he speaks. And he's read literally every single book on theory that exists.
Disgusting.
I know. And so he found on the internet this page about the Make Rojava Green Again movement, which is an initiative created by the international commune in Rojava, which is basically the independent commune of foreign volunteers that goes there. And we thought it was an interesting idea, and we started talking about it, and we thought, hey, we're two fucking uppity young people. Maybe we could like help these guys out. I mean, we're not doing anything else better. And so for the last year and a half, I think, we've been trying to set up a sort of support group from Portugal that through our university, and because we're engineers, can create engineering solutions for the many problems they have over there, and take into account the fact that they have very limited resources, and so normal engineering solutions wouldn't be possible. And we're trying to make it happen. It's been very hard because, god damn it, shut the fuck up. I'm
Kitty.
Sorry, my cat is
Kitty.
He wants to leave.
You spoke ill of a cat. Chat's mad.
Come here, you fat piece of shit. Okay. He's very angry because he wants to leave. I'm sorry about that.
He's a good baby boy.
He is a very good baby boy, but he's very annoying. God, you can't leave. God damn it. I'm just gonna ignore him until he stops. That usually works. So what was I saying?
You were talking about how your team was working on building engineering solutions for Rojava's resource-starved problems.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So we've been in contact with the international commune through email and stuff. We got into contact with at first we wanted to create an advocacy group here in Portugal because we didn't know one existed already, but then we found out one existed already. But my friend was very adamant on creating a sort of independent movement from them because, it was basically like a couple of anarchists that gathered in pubs and talked shit about capitalism,
right?
As anarchists do. And so they had a lot of information we could make use of, but we didn't think that being affiliated with them would serve our specific needs. So we I mean, we're in contact with them, but we're not specifically affiliated with them. We're like an independent sort of organization.
How many people are there?
And
with you, I mean.
In the organization?
Yeah, with your organization.
Okay. So it's my friend. We have a couple others that I don't know personally because it's my friend was the one that met them because he went to a leftist forum and he met basically the entire leftist population over here.
Yeah.
So he made a lot of connections. A lot of them are now affiliated, but I don't know them personally or by name. We are so close to finally getting the environmental engineering course to affiliate themselves with us. It's the beginning of the semester. They don't know how much they want to commit to this. It's been hard to get them on board, but we're so close.
What specifically would they be committing to? Like what are your long-term goals in terms of production?
Okay, long-term goals. We've spoken to the international commune over there, and they said their most pressing matters right now are wind energy and water purification systems. They say those are the most important things. So we've been working towards those two things as like a framework. Eventually, as we get more people to work on this, we would delegate and maybe create other projects of infrastructure, maybe connected to food production or solar, for example, or just basic electrical engineering for maintenance of their power grid and stuff like that. And eventually, maybe even going there. But that's like way.
Do you think that's a reasonable long-term goal? Is that something you want to do?
I mean, yes, it is because I mean I've seen a lot of documentaries about Rojava. Unicorn Riot has a great one that really shows you how incredibly miserable those people get on the front lines because you sometimes it's hard to look at horrific images of war and really feel like they're real,
Yeah.
But the documentary was so well made because in between the moments of horrific like war imagery, they had these like moments where the soldiers was just being people, and so it really hits you. Like I couldn't do what they are doing, just fucking coming from like the internationalist soldiers just coming from New York to Iraq, staying there for 6 months, shooting rifles and RPGs at fucking ISIS members. Like, holy shit. That's whew.
ISIS is pretty much cucked at this point, right? Just to
Yes.
refresh my memory.
Yeah, it's very fragmented, but they have a lot of conflict. They basically the coalition in Rojava has an invasion attempt basically every single night because there's
nice.
a lot of sleeper cells. A lot of sleeper cells are still active in the front lines and in the basically concrete jungle that is Syria right now.
Would you describe, at this point in time, would you describe ISIS as molding?
Molding? I'm not sure what that means.
It means they are mad and experiencing male pattern baldness. It's a very bad thing to be.
So. I would say so, but it's hard to say because from what I know, they still have access to a lot of high-grade Syrian military weapons that they acquired when they first rose to power in the middle of Syria. So it's hard to say. They've been successful so far in cucking them, but it's come at a great cost because ISIS plays dirty.
Yeah,
as you'd expect. And they do stuff like when they're retreating, they leave fucking landmines stuck to like cords on the doors. So if they try to open the door to see if it's clear, they get blown the fuck up, and it's horrific shit. although the main issue right now for the success of Rojava in general is Turkey. Turkey
Turkey.
is being a huge fucking bitch right now. They've been since the start of the Syrian civil war. They've been cutting off water. They've been diverting the rivers because basically every single river that goes to Rojava passes through Turkey. So they've been diverting the water. That's why water purification systems are so high up in their list, because one of the biggest rivers they have is dried up. The
How,
others are nearly dry.
out of curiosity, so a couple of questions.
Yeah,
My international politics is a little bit shaky. It always has been because America is the best country, obviously. But
yeah, sure.
in regards to Rojava, for
Mm-hmm.
one, approximately how many people are in the commune, more or less,
Oh, in the international commune,
who are on the ground, who are
who
actually
are
like at threat of death?
at threat of death. Ooh, that's a hard number to pin down,
Would
actually.
you say it's like in the thousands or in the hundreds of
Oh,
tens?
definitely, definitely. Especially because it's constant war. The cities in the interior, more closer to the north,
Mhm.
are relatively safe. Although Turkey has been doing some bullshit in the border, and but the ones that are on the south, that are closest to the front lines, are on in constant threat of danger. Constant. And just soldier wise, there's a lot of soldiers, especially because of the way the coalition was founded on principles of emancipation and women's movement and feminism. There's a lot of female soldiers, which bolsters their force significantly as opposed to regular military.
Which are basically
So
all
there's
men, yeah.
yeah, especially ISIS. So it's I would say it's around the 300,000 that are in uh, pretty much immediate danger right now.
That's a larger number
Not
than I expected.
Oh no, there's a lot of people, because the not just soldiers, just that there's hundreds of thousands of refugees that have found a precarious sort of balance in Rojava, because they're not completely safe. Like Rojava is doing amazing work. They're really trying to create something beautiful there, but it's not perfect, of course. So there's still a lot of people, especially in the communities that are not connected by land, because the sort of the commune started in three different places, and just now two of them are connected by controlled territory, and one of them is still outside. Those outside the controlled territory, but still controlled territory, it's a weird thing, are also in the border with Turkey, and Turkey like hates the fact that they're trying to establish homes for the refugees, because Turkey is banking on the fact that there's a refugee crisis in Syria, to use that as a bargaining chip to have European powers and Western countries in general not recognize Rojava as a definitive state,
But
basically.
Turkey benefits from the actions of Rojava, do they
Sorry,
not?
you cut out there.
Turkey benefits from the actions of Rojava, though, do they not? Everyone benefits from the elimination of ISIS from the region. Nobody wants ISIS to be there, really.
Yes, but Turkey sort of sneakily claimed the region of Rojava for themselves. They say it's theirs, and so they're reeling up to military action in the region.
What do you think the odds are that Rojava does like a bunch of really good shit, and then like 10 years from now, they're just going to get utterly fucking obliterated by like Turkey or insurgents backed by America?
Honestly, very high.
Okay, that's good.
Honestly, like I want to be optimistic, but like it's a very precarious situation they're in. Like literally no one wants to see them as a legitimate power in the region. They have embargoes from everywhere. the only money they can get into the country is through selling oil out of very old pumps that they don't have spare parts for. They're losing water to Turkey. Turkey's fucking creating giant, massive fucking walls in the borders and shooting farmers that get too close. Like, it's a hell, man.
Do you think, and I'm not trying to be glib here, but do you think it might be preferable for after the for after ISIS is dead and buried, for there to be an international effort to sort of lift the people who are on the ground there and try and move them to less destabilized regions so they have an opportunity to affect change and not just get wiped out by Turkey and stuff? I mean, I'm not saying, like, I know they're fighting for their home. I know they are. I'm not like, oh, what? You've done your good work. Let's lift them out. But like, it sure would be nice if these hundreds of thousands of people would then go move on to improve the world in other ways in other parts of the world, rather than all of them dying futilely against like a state. You know?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but you know, it's hard to do that practically, because again, they're fighting for the land, and also it's like they're strong because they're together, basically. You know?
Yeah.
They're strong because they have united behind a cause that they truly believe in. And so I say that trying to lift them up would scatter them and just really lose the momentum they have right now. Although I don't know if that's preferable to them just getting wiped out. I don't know, man. Fucking it's up in the air what the fuck's gonna happen with Rojava. I would love to see it thrive because it's probably the most influential leftist experiment right now.
Yeah, definitely.
But it's hard to say, like the main, because the base ideology of the movement was created by this guy. Let me just look up the name really quickly. But Erdogan, which is the president of Turkey, he's a dictator, he's a fascist.
He's a gay lord.
He's a gay lord, of course. And he put this guy who's responsible for most of the ideology behind Rojava in a prison out in the coast, like an island out in the coast of Istanbul, guarded by 1,000 guards. Nice. Where he was the only person in that fucking island.
That's fucking badass, though.
Yeah, it's literally out of a fucking action movie. Like, the fucking Erdogan was so fucking scared of this guy. Who was at best, like, if you really were unshareable to him, a terrorist group's leader?
Yeah.
Because he was part of the PKK. But even then, it's just one guy. I don't know. It's really weird that they went to such lengths to isolate him from anything else. And he's still there, though. He's still in prison in that island.
Well, the action movie formula is completed only when he's busted out, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of protests in Rojava and a lot of movements to free him, but you know, it's Erdogan. He's
yeah, I know it's not going to take.
It's a good thought. It's probably not going to take off. I don't know. Eventually, I'd like for Europe to like get a spine and face Turkey on the horrible shit they're doing.
Yeah.
But because of the way Erdogan is using the refugee crisis as a bargaining chip to basically do whatever the fuck he wants, it's hard for politicians to even talk about this without a nightmare of foreign relationships.
Well, if I remember correctly, Turkey is working pretty hard to get into the European Union. By cleaning up their reputation. Do you think is there any will amongst any of the European nations to sort of hold their feet to the fire in regards to the way they're treating this Rojava business? Or is that just not a priority? I
I'm
can't
not
imagine that's
sure.
a
I'm not
priority.
sure. It's very hard to decipher what the European committee is actually planning to do on these sorts of things. Uh, I'd imagine that they're very hesitant because we already have a fucking horrible situation with Hungary and oh, what's it called? Fucking Poland.
Uh-huh.
Because Hungary is very much a fascist state. They literally erected monuments to Nazi Germany in their fucking capital. Like fucking, they're literally trying to bring back the Nazis. But the European Union can't do anything because Poland has their back, and you can only impose sanctions or any kind of punishment on a EU member if everybody else agrees to it. So as long as Poland is on their side, they can't do anything to Hungary. And as long as Hungary is on Poland's side, they can't do anything to Poland.
Right.
So the European Union is cucked, basically.
Fucking cucks.
Yeah, I know. Fucking Europe is just entirely made of cucks, basically. You heard it. You heard it from a European. It's true. But yeah, so Turkey is a tricky one because I don't know how they would feel about bringing another fascist or proto-fascist. They're basically fascist, but state into the ranks, considering the already massive fucking kerfuffle that is Hungary and Poland. So I'm not sure. I'm expecting that Erdogan is gonna use his power in Syria and the adjacent countries to pressure the European Union into accepting them.
Right.
You know, like make token actions sort of in the broadest public eye look sort of good, but in reality they're just blackmailing Europe into accepting them.
Yeah, I would be interested in learning more about the current state of the negotiations between Turkey and the EU to accept Turkey into itself. I'd be interested in seeing sort of where we are in regards to that conversation.
Yeah. So do I, honestly. I don't know a lot about it. It's not a lot of information just isn't in the public eye, honestly. There's just it's all between the council members and the parliament, so it's hard to get reliable information about it.
So far it's a lot of bad news. Do you wanna pepper us with some good?
Sure. What's good news? Well, the good news is they're not dead yet.
Nice. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I'm creating this advocacy group is because I actually believe they can make it through. I mean, I wouldn't do it if I didn't. I'm skeptical and I'm very scared, but I truly believe I can make a difference in the world. By supporting them?
What is the success state? Do you believe for the Confederacy? What do you believe is the or for the Communists? Right? What do you believe is like what end goal could they achieve that you would consider to be an indication that they have truly succeeded? For them to survive, for them to not die in a counterattack, for them to wipe out ISIS? Like what's the goal here?
Probably be recognized as an independent, not state because they're not really a state, but a region, let's say, an autonomous region, to be recognized as such. That will probably be the endest of goals. But of course there's a lot of tiny end goals in the way.
Right.
To get there. There's first you gotta, because Syria's still in a civil war. Like Assad is still there, ISIS is still there, and until that is sort of resolved a little bit, there's no way any Western country or any country for that matter will recognize Rojava. So that needs to be fixed. Then Turkey has to be dealt with, which is the trickier one. I'm
You know
not
who would?
sure.
You
Oh,
know who would recognize Rojava?
who?
Bernie Sanders.
I do know he is. You want to hear something funny?
What?
We over here in Portugal, we have our president is literally an enlightened centrist. He would say he would veto any proposition from the Congress that would not contain any sort of compromise between the left and the right.
Nice. Only murder
Yeah,
half the brown people.
exactly. Don't even get me started on brown people. In Portugal, it's not the brown people. It's the Romani. Like
Yeah, I know.
holy shit.
I know. It's really weird because like a lot of people over here in America will say like, "Oh, we got gypped," or "Oh, these fucking like gypsy," but they have like no idea. There really isn't any anti-Romani racism here in America.
Oh, you haven't.
It just
You
never
have
came
no
over
idea.
here. But like over there,
We
it's like a big fucking meme, right?
Oh, it's a massive meme. It's fucking slavery back in I don't know the 50s. You know the segregation back in your time. It's basically that right fucking now. Not even fucking joking. Maybe not explicit because Portugal is not a very openly. The culture is not to be openly bigoted. So it's just a lot of implied bigoted in sentiment.
How so?
So there's not a legal separation or an active separation between Romani and the native-born Portuguese people, but uh, Portuguese hate fucking Romani with so the systems that are put in place legally to help the reintroduction of Romani into society because again they live in slums. The only places where Romani live right now are slums or social housing. Very bad social housing, I might add.
Yeah.
So and it just creates a loop where the Portuguese people think that they're there because they're supposed to, or because they're there, there's a lot of crime, and because the conditions are bad. It's sociology 101, the cycle of just you hate these people and reinforce your beliefs about them, and in response they defend themselves from you by creating insular communities and really focusing on their own culture, which then leads to extreme variations of that culture, which makes the other people fear them even more, and it's fucking mess.
Do
But
you?
yeah, it's
Sorry.
as sure.
No. I just meant to ask in regards to Rojava, or however it's
Yes.
pronounced at this moment. There. Do you believe? What do you believe leads to the proliferation of what is, let's be realistic here, fairly radical leftist ideology in communities like this? Conventional logic to me, this is the way conventional logic works to me. It's that the more fucked an area is, the more unequal it is, the more threatened they are by poverty or war or genocide, the less likely they are to advance society. And that tends to be true. Normally, when countries are invaded or subjected to a lot of really harsh imperialism, they tend to rescind back towards more traditionalist reactionary values because it's easier to quickly get a society in line that way. But that's obviously not the case here. What do you think? What happened here? How did they spin far left like this? What made them choose the right path?
Well, I think it's mostly due to the way that the Kurdish ethnic group has developed over in history, and how because it's very well represented in a proverb that is inherent to Kurdish, which is the mountains are our only friends, because the Kurdish ethnic group has been fucking raped from every single side ever since they've existed. but they've been able to survive by creating independent communities in the mountains, where it's hard to attack them or try any sort of genocidal tendency, you know?
Yeah.
And because of that, I think it has a lot to do with that sort of community, sort of cultural community inclination. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, typically in fucked communities, they develop like a strong sense of interdependence because that's the only way to survive external hostility.
Yeah. And I think because the leftist Kurdish movements have been pretty popular. I mean, in Kurdish communities, there's been a lot of. I mean, the PKK has existed for a very long time. So I think with the advent of the Syrian civil war, they then saw an opportunity and kind of just took it. Honestly, I think it was just fucking blind luck, just a perfect storm of leftist goodness, you know?
Would you agree with me in saying that any leftist who does not support the Rohingyas or the Kurdish people is a fake lefty who should get the fuck out?
Oh, definitely. Fuck those guys. Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you? I've seen plenty of tankies. I've seen plenty of fucking tankies.
Oh my fucking god! Are you kidding me? Like
Radlibs destroying their own revolution because they fail to recognize the necessity of a strong state to lead them in.
Oh, for fuck's sake! They're literally the most successful socialist experiment right now. Like, for fuck's sake, open your fucking eyes.
Whoa! Right now, haven't you heard of China? Listen, I'm sorry. My brain is literally fucking fried from interacting with tankies. Okay,
I know, dude. Like, for fucking hell. Like, I have my country. One of the main parties in the country is a tanky party. Like, they organize a music festival where they literally get fucking envoys from North Korea and China, fucking in their own booths talking to people. Like, I very much understand your disgust with.
I want to kill myself. Jeez. So for the Rojavans, you've said that you have an interest maybe in one day physically going there. I assume you aren't interested in doing any on the ground fighting.
Probably not. I'm not a very confrontational person. I doubt I do well in stressful situations like active combat. Honestly.
Do you?
And
sorry.
Yeah?
Oh no, I'm curious because this is something that I've seen from some other people, and I've always had mixed opinions on this because I am perhaps slightly more pessimistic about this than you. Do you believe that Westerners should make an effort if they've the opportunity to go there physically and to enlist? Or do you believe that their effort is better spent radicalizing and encouraging class consciousness and support amidst other Westerners?
I don't think those are mutually exclusive in a certain way, because just being there, even if you're not on the ground fighting ISIS, there's, and I've seen this from a lot of interviews with the people that go there, especially New Yorkers or European people. And, what you get from them is that they learned a lot about themselves and the ideologies of leftism and how to do leftism good, let's say,
right.
By interacting with the people of Rojava and learning to live in a socialist experiment,
Right.
So I'm not sure those are mutually exclusive as you make them out to be. I honestly think that you can do both. And learn, you can be there and help them and learn and bring those teachings with you when you come back.
Have people been coming back?
Definitely.
So I don't know, because obviously there's not like a tour of duty. It's not like the U.S. military 4 years. If you went there and you fought or helped for like a year or two and then came back, that's like valuable, right? That's not like when your Christian camp is like, all right, everyone, we're going to India for a month, and you spend a month building one house that a contractor could have done in like 3 days with this team, and then you come back feeling like you've saved the third world. Going there is like actually helpful. They're actually looking for recruits, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. They literally, the international commune has a set up where you learn Kurdish, you learn to speak their language, and you learn about a lot of things depending on what you want to do. And they then assign you to a certain community, and you go. If it's the army or the military, you go there. If it's helping reforestation efforts or trying to construct better food supply chains, you go there. But it's literally what you want to do. It's very you don't have to force people because everybody is there because you know.
And if you choose to leave, you can.
Yes, definitely. You can leave whenever you want. They suggest you go for at least 6 months because if you go for a little while, you don't get to be very productive because you can't interact with a lot of the people there because you don't speak the language very well. You don't really know a lot about the culture.
Got to make the plane ticket worth it, you know.
Yeah, basically. So most people they suggest 6 months to a year. A lot of people think they're going to be like 3 months and then end up being there for like a year and a half because they like it so much. But it's completely up to you, basically.
What are there any predominant religious tensions within the group? What religious group are Kurds again?
They're actually in Rojava. There's basically pretty much anything on.
You cut out. You said anything.
Anything under the sun. Is what I said. There's Christians, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists. There's literally any religion you can think of. They're incredibly tolerant towards other religions. They have Christian churches, Muslim churches, fucking Hindu churches. They have just regular ass temples for people who just want to pray but don't really have a specific place. The biggest tension is between conservative Muslim men, because since the revolution is so focused on feminism, there's a lot of tension, especially between men that still want to have multiple wives. All the conservative Muslim shit,
right?
That just doesn't fly. And so what they have is they have specific mediator communities where it's like a sort of feminist court, if you may, where they bring in people. For example, I saw this guy. He was trying. His wife was pregnant with their second child, and he was trying to get a second wife, and got that second wife pregnant. And so they brought him in and basically yelled at him a lot, and he yelled at them back.
Nice.
So yeah, that's. But yeah, there's still a lot of tension there. But honestly, even the conservative Muslims prefer to live there than to live in the alternative that is Assad's Syria.
Yeah, I can. So preferable. It's funny though, huh? Conservative people will bitch and moan about progressive societies, but then you'll find they'll actually much rather live there than the societies that are more aligned with their own values.
I mean, the only reason they can actually spout their conservative beliefs is because they live in a progressive society. That's literally what's happening in Rojava. They have so much freedom of expression and so much liberation from the terror that is the Syrian civil war and Assad's government, that they can be pieces of shit. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So obviously this is a progressive community.
Yeah.
Certainly, by the standards of the region, certainly considering how much strife there's been.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you say if how do you say this? Not I'm trying to look for a better metric here. Not like, oh, if I was trans and I went there. No, more like could a progressive person in the West, such as myself, go there and live as comfortably with their identity as they would expect to be able to here in the States?
Most definitely, yes. There's, in fact, I think at least a couple dozens of trans soldiers in the army. Both trans women and trans men. Don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure about that one.
Gotcha.
But a lot of the basis of the revolution has been fundamentally it's a feminist revolution. Fundamentally, like it's written in the Constitution. They don't really have a constitution. Okay, I'm losing myself. Let me just restart that.
Mm-hmm.
They had a social contract when they first formed in 2014, and in 2016, 151 of the sort of leaders, but not really leaders of the communities inside Rojava, came together to vote on a more stable and uh, complete constitution based on the principles of that social contract. So, uh, sorry, give me a sec.
Yeah, no worries.
So what we then, so they had a constitution. They now have a constitution, and it has addendums for every ethnic group in the region. They have addendums for every sexual orientation. They have addendums for for most gender expressions. I'm not sure about the specifics, but I would be confident that you could express yourself however you'd want in Rojava, although it still has a lot of remnants of Muslim conservatism.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a difficult thing to measure, although the groundwork is there to have a fully supportive and inclusive society.
Nice.
It might not be there yet, but given time, it will definitely reach such a state.
Yeah, and they're also, working with the first foot back, considering the material conditions of the environment they're in. Kitty.
Yeah, it's Kitty. He just because my sister came in the room and now he wants to get out again. He knows what freedom was. He must taste it again.
What sparked your initial interest in helping Rojava?
Honestly, it was blind luck. I learned about the Make Rojava Green project. I looked into it because my friend was really, really into it at the time, and I became really into it at the time, and we were like, man, this is so cool. I wish I could do something, and we kind of came up with this plan, and you could too. Honestly,
listen. My praxis is very much going to be limited to fucking research streams for a while. Okay.
No, I know.
Yeah,
I know. I'm talking mostly to the people listening.
Hey, chat.
Literally, I'm not that special. Sure, I have a lot of privilege since I don't know I'm white. I'm relatively wealthy, upper middle class. I'm taking a college degree, but honestly, even in little ways, you can all do something to make the world a better place. Even if you think you're not really smart enough to do it, like there's thousands of causes out there, thousands of ideologies that you could just put your back behind. It's hard. It's hard to have that first step, but you'll realize that if you have that little entrepreneurish that's not a word Uh,
It's close
if
to
you
a
have
word,
that,
though.
if you have that sort of like drive to you want to do something. You have that existential drive that cripples you existentially. You can't do anything about this. Like you'll figure out that most people are in the exact same position you're in, and they just need that one little push. So never think you're going to be alone or make a small mark, because like loads of people are just waiting for that one. It's why so many people are looking up to Bernie, because he feels like something you can get behind without a lot of work.
Because he's going to bring socialism to the U.S. Don't disparage.
Yeah.
Single-handedly.
Exactly. So he feels like something to, he feels like something you can put your back behind and get rid of that existential dread. But you can get rid of that existential dread. It doesn't have to be just Bernie. I mean, you can also do it.
Then wait for that existential dread to come right back again when fucking Erdogan sends troops and fucking obliterates all of them.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah.
I know. Let's not get into depressing topics.
Yeah, listen, it's all fun and games until Erdogan sniffs until he sniffs the lefty happiness and takes it out.
But yeah, like what I really wanted to come here to say was, every little one of you has a little revolutionary in, and you just if you just give 1 second to just get yourself out there and try something, you'll see that a lot of people will get you. So don't be afraid you're gonna be alone or you're not gonna make it. You can do it, man. I believe in you. Everybody has a little revolutionary inside them. I can see it.
All right. You're on a roll. No posting cringe. You no. Hey, listen, comrade. I really appreciate you coming on to speak with us. One last thing. In the future, could you please let me know as you continue to make strides towards assisting them, and keep me updated if anything interesting happens?
Oh yeah, sure. We should have a Twitter by now. Of the thing. I'm gonna post cringe. I'm sorry about that, but
gotcha.
where we thought the name Young Kurds was appropriate.
Yeah.
I know. It's it's a big ass meme. I know, but my friend said it once, and I was like, that's cool. And then we just never came up with anything better. So
it is pretty funny.
Yeah. So if you search Young Kurds on Twitter, you probably find it. Find our Twitter account. We don't have a lot right now because we're very new. We'll eventually have an Instagram and a Facebook if you do those things. If you go there, you'll see that our account follows most of the sort of organizations in Rojava. So if you want to get like direct information from there, those accounts are a very good source. There's also links. They also have links to the websites they use and the theory they have on Rojava. So yeah, check it out.
This is a theory-free safe space, okay? Give me wait, link the Twitter to me right now, and I'll post it in chat.
Let me just
let me know
really quick. I need to open up Twitter because God knows I'm not gonna. God knows Twitter is not a place you have always open.
I try to ignore Twitter these days. I get so listen. I got so fucking hyper canceled after the Thought Slime shit. I'm being super careful.
Honestly, fucking Twitter is a fucking hellhole.
It really is.
Like, it's a shame that I've linked it in the chat. It's there beneath actual deal.
Gotcha.
honestly, Twitter, it's sad that Twitter is so necessary to get anything remotely political off the ground because it's such a toxic cesspool. Holy shit.
It's okay. Listen,
Fuck.
socialism, Twitter socialism is just around the corner. Okay. One of these days, I'm gonna clap back Biden so hard, and it's gonna get so many retweets. We're gonna have it. Okay, it's gonna happen. We're not even gonna need fucking Roblava after I'm done.
Oh, God, I wish. I really hope that is true.
I really appreciate you coming on to speak with me.
Always, man. Always. Can I just give one final meme?
Absolutely. You can always land the stream with the final meme while I'm around, okay?
So my name is Dio, and I'm so close to being anime Dio. I don't go outside. I'm a fucking I have a slight allergy to the sun, so I'm basically a vampire.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what's bad about it? I don't have blonde hair.
Damn.
So you can blame the fall of the Aryan race for anime not being real. You know? Those damn Jews.
If only you had just a little more Aryan blood in you, you might have been able to carry it through.
Yeah. Fucking sucks. I know.
Do you want to leave us with your best muda muda before you head out?
Muda 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 muda.
That was actually pretty good. Wait, that was better than mine. Wait, that was pretty good. That was practiced, wasn't it?
No, you know Mr. Bean, the comedy show, British comedy show, you know? He was like my hero when I was young, so I did a lot of weird shit with my mouth.
Yeah?
So yeah.
Listen, don't get my chat too riled up.
Look, let's just say I have a certain oral fixation on stuff.
All right. Hold that thought 1 second. I really appreciate speaking to you. While I'm answering this phone call, can you tell the stream how to enlist?
How to enlist. Okay. Yeah. If you go to the International Commune has a website. You can find their if you can either Google it or go to their Twitter account. They have it linked. And in there, you'll find a very comprehensive guide on what you need to do to enlist there and go there. They'll help you through the entire way. And they have so much information. If you want to know more specifically about the Make Rojava Green Again movement, they also have a website and a Twitter account you can find. And you'll find it in Google. They also have a book if you're into that. And yeah, that's about it. Have fun, comments. Just know. I'd suggest looking at a documentary made by Unicorn Riot on the Rojavan soldiers, New York and Rojava soldiers. I'll get a link. So you know what you're getting into, because you really just know what you're getting into. This is literally literally an area that is in civil war and in constant conflict. So know what you're getting into. It. This is real shit. This is not just memes. Okay. Be safe, okay? And okay. I'll put it in chat. It should be there. I see people have already linked it. So, but yeah, it's real shit. Like, don't go there if you don't know exactly what you're getting into. It's real shit. But yeah. Have fun, guys. I hope to see you in the future. Maybe in Rojava we'll meet. I don't know. Who knows? But but yeah, if you're in Portugal, in Lisbon specifically, get in contact with us. We'd love to bring you on board. Especially if you're in Technical, you'll know if you're Portuguese. So yeah. Also, get in a union. Fucking do it. Of course, I'm trans rights. I'm fucking trans, bro. I'm motherfucking trans. Of course, I'm gonna say fucking trans rights. That shit's not even fucking trans rights. NB rights, motherfucker. Motherfucking MB rights.
All right, get the fuck out of here. All right, that was all the stream. Get out.
I'll go.
Thank you very much for the chat, comrade.
You're welcome. I had a lovely time. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Thank you. I have you too.
That was a very pleasant conversation. Of course, Abdullah Okalan. Sorry I didn't recognize you earlier. I was just talking to my Portugalian comrade. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Portugal was in South America. when they called themselves European, I was like, wait a second, did they like move there? America. I love it. Yeah. Don't worry, I did too. Azuki in chat, you know what I'm talking about. Portugal, it just sounds like a Latin American name. What do you want? Probably because the people there speak Spanish. Really, isn't Spain Latin American? They speak Portuguese.